Saturday programme for us at Sha Tin this weekend. The first of 3 meetings in the new terrace, in actual fact. Wednesday night back again with a mixed programme, turf and dirt racing before Sha Tin again next weekend. Got it all covered here though. Very warm welcome to Racing to Win. I'm Andrew Jean. Please say I'm joined by our former analyst in Paul Lally and race caller Tom Wood as well. Tom, what are the highlights for Saturday's programme?
Yeah, well, certainly the last race, Andrew. We've saved the best till last. We've got 2 races on the all-weather, and that is one of the highlights on the programme. Class 2 with that extended rating band of 105 down to 80. Class 2 over the 1650 metres. Our best all-weather horses that we have here in Hong Kong, going around, the likes of Glorious Artist, as Stablemate King, Shield, Elusive State, and a newcomer that's certainly built up through the ranks over the last few months, a Hong Kong great going around also. Yeah,
Zach Purton on board there. We've had some decent jackpots of late, Paul. Anything to look forward to this weekend?
We've got one of the bigger ones we've had for a while, actually. 10.1 million going into the Triple Trio bonus, and also 2.5 million going into the 6-up win bonus. So a really good one there, and it doesn't look easy though, so we'll just see if anyone can get it. If they can't, we'll look forward to a bumper one on next week.
We most certainly will. Now, we're looking at 2 of the 10 races here on Racing to Win. We've got a special guest joining us very shortly as well. So the key races are 7 and 10. 8 races on the turf, on the sea course, and the 2 all-weather races come up late in the programme as well. They are races 8 and 10. The races we're looking at, though, are races 7 and 10, which is a Class 3 over the 1200 metres, and that final event, Tom was just talking about that, over the 1650. But a really good programme. Neil Callan, Dylan Moe still on the sidelines, and Blake Shin's got back-to-back suspensions, so he misses out this weekend as well. We start the show, though, with a jockey in form. 3 winners at Happy Valley on Wednesday night and a landmark victory as well. I'm speaking, of course, of Jerry Chow. Jerry, many thanks for your time this afternoon. Hey. A great night at Happy Valley on Wednesday with the treble, and you lost your £7 claim down to 5. Now, how did that feel?
Well, it's very good memory, and 3 winners, and came 5 after that night, and gave my boss 2 winners as well, and me and my boss got 3 winners, and yes, very good memory.
How do you approach things now? Is it much different now? You're a £5 claimant to claiming 7, or you just need to continue to do things the way you have been?
I think it's not much different for me. Feeling is £2 different. It's not much different. The big difference, I think, is I can take more rides, and yeah, and I think normally it's just did what I did now.
I think that's the main thing, isn't it? Just to keep doing what you've been doing, and the winners will keep flowing as well. You mentioned Douglas as well. Of course, he is your boss. How much of an influence has he had on your career so far, do you think? Do you obviously talk about the rides going into each meeting? Do you have a debrief as well after each meeting, and he talks you through what's gone right and what's gone wrong?
Sure. After the race, we'll sit down and go through the races, and the normal days, he will train with me and give me some advice about the diet, and yes, and now it's coming 5, and he will give me more opportunity, because sometimes the horse weighting too low, he can't give me to ride because I can't make the weight, but now I can ride more for him.
Yeah, that's great. And as far as that's concerned, then get down to 3 as well, and then 2, and off you go. All right, let's look forward then to Saturday's programme at Sha Tin. You've got 5 rides coming up. First 2 horses, you've got coming at race 2, and then race 3, First Responder. You've only ridden him once before, in actual fact, First Responder. Universal Crown, you're riding the second, but First Responder, you've ridden once before, and you won on him.
First Responder is very competitive in Class 4, and it's got a bad, not very good barrier, but I think he can handle it.
The other horses to mention, Full Power. You look like you might be able to dictate the race for the front, so he'd have some sort of opportunity. For Richard Gibson, the stable's hit a bit of form.
Yes, he's always one good in the Sha Tin 1800 or 2000, and I think he tomorrow, if the race will shoot him, and yeah, I think he's got some chance.
One of the stable horses, Thunderstrike, up you ride as well. Now, he was quite good on debut, I thought, a bit of an eye-catcher. So what do you think of his chances? Goes up in trip as well, I think, from the 12 to the 1400 metres.
Yes, go to ship because the last time feel like he take time to get his momentum, and last time he show us potential as well. He give me a very good turn of foot, and I think step up will be good for him.
You're doing a great job so far. I hope it keeps going this weekend and towards the end of the season as well. Could end up with 50 winners, I'm sure. But best of luck for Saturday, Jerry, and thanks for your time today.
Okay, thank you.
There you go, Jerry. Jerry's absolutely flying at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised to see to add to his tally again on Saturday. Right, first of the two races we're looking at here, race number 7, Class 3, 1,200 metres the trip. Wind Speeder heads the field. Ruinmeyer from barrier number 3 as he drops in class. Mighty Valor, Wagner Borges from 6. He should roll forward from there. Lifeline Vision, bit of money for him on debut. Finished behind High Rise Soldier at Happy Valley. Power Kept we're going with. John Size, Antoine Hamlin. He's on debut. He used to be trained by Charlie Hills in the UK. Super Wind Dragon gets up in trip. Trust Me, first up since mid-April. Speedy Mouse was good behind Courier Wonder last time out. Then to Killer B, who's 1.9 beaten favourites last time out. So he's on a bit of a recovery mission for Casper Founds and Joe Moreira. All right, so our first race here, race number 7, the 1,200 metres sprint. As far as the speed is concerned, Tom, where are we looking at here? Who are the key runners?
I think we're certainly looking at Mighty Valor. He certainly is a horse that loves to lead, and he is resuming here for Wagner Borges and Ricky Yu. So he's definitely going to be on the pace from gate number 6. He was up on the speed in his most recent trial. We've got Killer B going forward to Paul, but do you imagine Joe Moreira putting too much pressure on Wagner with Mighty Valor?
No, I think Wagner would want to hold the lead there on the inside. So I can't see Joe putting too much on him. He might try and slot in behind if the horse does go a little bit too fast, because he's quite a free runner, is Mighty Valor in front. Dublin Star should get a nice run just in behind there, and Speedy Mouse could be a little bit closer. He's drawn wide in his last couple.
Yeah, he hasn't been the quickest away in a couple of runs now with Speedy Mouse, so he's likely to end up somewhere midfield, and Andrew, I'm a single man towards the rear.
All right, OK, so that's the speed map, how it looks for race number 7. Killer B, though, most likely going to be our favourite. He'll be ridden by Joe Moreira.
Joe, Killer B, he won on debut and then you got on for his last run. What do you think of that effort?
I think it was a very good run. A little bit unlucky not to win that day. He was got just on the line, you know, and he put on a good performance. Unfortunately, he didn't win, but that is always another day.
How did he travel for you in the run? Was he a bit keen at times?
He was a bit keen, and that's a bit of a concern. So I'm sure Casper had good work around it to make sure that its next start it doesn't do the same. He feels like a very nice quality horse. He's such a big, strong individual, and I'd be very surprised if he goes and do not run a good race.
Since then, you've ridden him at the barrier trials. What did you think of his trial that day for you?
When I rode him at the trial, he found himself behind other horses, which was very good, so gave us a chance to feel how he would behave behind others. And then he kept on coming, improving, and finished off the trial very well. So I think we're looking good where he's at the moment in regards to fitness, and based on that trial, I'd be very happy with him.
Sounds pretty promising as far as Joe's concerned, Tom, and the form of the race has worked out well as well.
Certainly has, with the decisive 12 coming out and winning at Sha Tin last weekend. So I think he's probably one of the horses that's going to be right up on the speed, as Joe mentioned. He's not going to put too much pressure on. Joe's going to be looking for that to cover, but I think he's the horse to beat in the race.
Yeah, just wonder how he's going to get that cover, though, because if he does go forward, he might end up outside the leader.
All right, it's Joe on Killer B with a killer pair of glasses as well. Namjong Singh's, Paul, what about him off the all-weather?
Yeah, look, he put a couple together in a row, didn't he? Then he was a little bit disappointing behind Fantastic Way, and then he's had this all-weather race. He ran on OK here. I just wonder if these horses like Killer B might just be a bit strong for him.
You saw in that opening part of the vision there, he was caught wide without any cover down the side, so he's covered a lot of ground, but to his credit, he's only been beaten 1 3/4. That was from gate 11. Alexi Bedell, who rode into victory a few runs ago, he gets back on board the horse. So you can see him in a tight enough finish here. He wasn't beaten overly far. I think Andrew had some excuses there with that wide passage.
All right, Killer B will be favourite, I think, but Speedy Mouse is going to be well in the market as well, Tom. He finished behind Courier Wonder last time out. He's a horse that's definitely making progress.
Yeah, look, I really like this horse, Speedy Mouse. Look, he didn't have any luck. You can see on the head on here, he lost momentum, and he looks like a momentum type of horse. He's drawn well. He's drawn wide at his last couple of starts. I think he can overturn the favourite. I just really like the way he hit the line. And this is a strong form race because Courier Wonder's there, and also Trillion Wind's come out and run really well once again.
You can see he had to come to the outside of All in Mind, but watch after the line. He's still attacking it, and I thought he finished off quite nicely there on that occasion, the Speedy Mouse. So he'd be the horse that I'd be inclined to certainly include in the Quinella or the forecast with Killer Bee.
All right, we've got a first starter here as well in the shape of Power Curp. He's big price at the moment. Tom, what have you seen at the trials though so far?
His trials have been okay, Power Curp, for John Size and Antoine Hamlin. A little bit slow out in that most recent trial, but I'd be happy just to watch him to see what he does first up.
Yeah, 1,090 pounds he is body weight, so he is quite fit leading into it.
All right, yeah, I called him Kurt. We're going with Cap, aren't we? But either way, I think you know who we're talking about. Paul, what do you like here then?
I think Speedy Mouse can overturn Killer Bee here. I think Killer Bee's going to be vulnerable late, and Speedy Mouse has got the best finish. He's got that real powerful finish. I just can't see how he can get cover unless something else takes it on, which we haven't sort of foreseen. So 9 to beat 11, Dublin Star, he's come out of a strong race as well, and Mighty Valor from the front. 9, 11, 10 and 3, but I do like the 9 and 11 Quinella.
Yeah, Quinella, a forecast there, whichever way you like. I'm with the Killer Bee on top, though. Liked his first up win, was good last time out. Hood goes on. He's on top ahead of Speedy Mouse. I think Mighty Velican still will be there at the end. He's a horse that likes to be up on the speed, and he'll give you a good sight. Namjong sings in the mix as well after that tough run. So 11, 9, 3 and 6.
All right, well, Killer Bee, best bet for me last time. We'll go in again, though, here, race number 7. Hopefully he can get the job done. All right, race number 10 we're looking at next. That comes up after the break. We're going to have a look at race number 10 now for you. Final race on the programme at Sha Tin, and one of 2 races on the all-weather as well. This is a Class 2 over the 1650 with some of our very best dirt horses going round. Field headed by Elusive State, a 7-time course and distance winner. Beaten favourite, though, behind Glorious Artist last time out. King Shield coming out of that race. Glorious Artist was ridden by Zach Purton that day. Vincent Ho jumps on board because Zach switches to Hong Kong Great. Congratulations out of the Derby. His first try on the all-weather here over the 1650. Sunshine Warrior, 3-time winner over the Trip, but at Happy Valley. Best Lamb up in class, should roll forward from barrier number 14. Bigwood second up from a long break, and Righteous Doctrine, all his wins have been over the 1,800 metres so far. Right, so as far as the speed is concerned here, Tom, for our final event, a couple of horses that like to roll forward, but one in particular I think would be pretty keen to find the front, and that horse is Hong Kong Great. Yeah, he should be able to get to the front from gate number 5 here, Andrew, with Zach Purton on board. But the question is, Paul, does King Shield try and take over, and is Hong Kong Great a good enough horse to potentially hand up and take the trail?
Well, no, I think he's better if he leads, because his wins has been when he leads. So if King Shield comes across, Highland Fortune has drawn wide as well. He's another one that can come across and put pace on, and so can Bear Slam. Now, Bear Slam's a little bit sort of iffy at the start, but if he jumps, they'll go forward with him as well. So I reckon there's going to be extra pace in this race. I think it'll be good to fast.
You'd like to end up with Bigwood back on the inside there. Berlin Tango's the odd one out, caught a little wide there from gate number 11. Righteous Doctrine and Pressure Ship will do what they normally do, and they'll get back in the run, Andrew.
All right, so some potential variation there, but Hong Kong Great, probably the one to find the front. Before we get into some of the key races here, let's get a wrap on the race with Ed.
Thank you, Andrew. It's a really good race to finish up the program with on Saturday afternoon, the Class 2 over 1,650 metres. Let's start our discussion of the race with Red Desert, who's such an honest horse and was able to break through for a deserved win last time out.
Yeah, the 1,200 metres on the dirt track, he seems to relish that. That's his race. The 1650s, he's always struggled a little bit at the distance. But still, it's the correct surface for him, and one day he might get away with one at 1650.
So the distance is obviously a query, but given his consistency, do you think he'll still run a competitive race?
Yeah, he'll run well. He always does. Just the last 200 metres of the race, he doesn't seem to have the stamina to finish it off and get prize money. But the service works in his favour, and one day he might.
While we're on John Size, John heads into the meeting with a 1-win lead in the trainer's title over Casper Founds. There's only a couple of months left of the season, but John isn't getting carried away about where things sit in the title at this stage.
Well, I've never been sort of confident about winning a championship, but there seems to be you know, there's 5 trainers that are in striking distance, and I think anyone could win at this point.
Back to Saturday's race though, and another runner of interest in the contest is Congratulation from the Douglas White stable. This will be just his 3rd run in Hong Kong and his 1st since he contested the Derby last time out.
Yeah, look, he had some time off. He went to Chung Fa, freshen him up. He had a lovely trial 10 days ago, and he's indicated to me that he enjoys the surface.
So is that why you picked out this race for him?
Oh, there's very few races for a horse with his handicap, but it was one of the reasons. He seems to have trialled well in them. He works well with me on in the mornings, so that was the main reason. And there's very few of these dirt races with that particular rating.
So there are a couple of runners in the race, Andrew, Red Desert and Congratulation. They're going to have to be at their very best, though, because they'll take on Hong Kong Great, who, in my opinion, is the best dirt horse currently in Hong Kong. And they're also against some tried and tested performers over this course and distance, the likes of Elusive State, King Shield and Glorious Artist.
There you go. Big statement from Ed then as far as Hong Kong Great is concerned. We can have a look at him, guys, as well in the first of our replays here. We'll take it from the start because the start is all important, Tom. Now, the winner of this race is Glorious Artist. There's a whole host of them coming out here, but... So you can see Hong Kong Great. He eventually finishes in 3rd place, but how wide he's drawn on this occasion, gets in a little bit closer. Pressure Ship slightly hidden there. He actually ran 2nd. Elusive State down the inside. King Shield doesn't seem to be in his normal form. He ran 5th. Red Desert, we heard from John Size. He's tucked away somewhere in the middle there. There he is, just on the outside of Glorious Artist. And Righteous Doctrine as well, a regular. So I suppose the thing to take out of it from here is Hong Kong Great's going to get an easier run of things from the start.
Absolutely, because this time round he had to do a power of work and he didn't really get across and get into a suitable position probably till I reckon the 750 or 700 metres, whereas in comparison here, Paul, a Glorious Artist, it was a good ride from Zach Purton, summed the situation up from barrier number 9 and was able to find a good spot near the rail and in the end to slice through between runners.
Yeah, look, when he's won his 2 races, Hong Kong Great, he's had the sole lead every time. So the barrier draw is definitely going to help him here down on the inside. It's just whether these horses drawn wide really want to press it early for him. If he gets a soft lead in front, he's going to be very tough to beat.
You can see Elusive State, he just knocked up over the final stages there, and I certainly agree around John's size there with the Red Desert. He just seems to struggle that last sort of 150, 200.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong though with Pressure Ship's run there either. We can have a look at though at Elusive State, Paul. You were quite taken with his track work. Yeah,
look, he really took off from his partner horse here when they asked him to. There was a really good turn of foot. I know he's a 7-year-old now, but he seems to have still got it looking at that. And Hong Kong Great, now he's been very good in his work as well. Nice and quiet. Now, Zach Purton was getting a feel for him here. Of course, he knows the horse well. He has already won on him. But the horse is going well. So if you like him, there's no problems with his work.
All right, let's have a look at Berlin Tango, Tom. He's an interesting horse. I thought this was quite a good run from him last time out at Happy Valley. Back on the all-weather, though, now. The other one to consider here is Righteous Doctrine, who's finishing off down the outside.
Yeah, he's getting very close to a class drop now as Righteous Doctrine. We know he's classy when he can be. He's won it 3 times here in Hong Kong. Now, I thought if there's one to upset the apple cart, it could be Berlin Tango here in this final race. Drawn gate number 11, he's going to go back. Just wonder how far back he'll get, but if there's quite a bit of pace on, Paul, I can potentially see him running over the top of them at the end.
Look, I put him down in a minor line as well for that exact reason. I personally think there will be lots of pace in this race, and if there is, he is one that'll be finishing fast.
All right, what about the Rock, Paul, and also Sunshine Warrior here back at the trials?
Yeah, the Rock's interesting because he's coming on the surface for the first time. He's by Dutch Art as the Rock, and he generally does work well on it. Again, he's drawn a little bit awkwardly in 10, but he might get the race run to suit. Sunshine Warrior, he's performed, he's only had the 1 start on the all-weather. It didn't go too badly. He ran 5th on that start. He's by Piero, Sunshine Warrior. So I think both horses are really interesting. It's a really high-class field to finish.
Yeah, the Rock just got a little bit keen last time out, but that might have been because there wasn't a lot of pace in that race. That was won by a reliable team, and we know that Sunshine Warrior has gone well fresh in the past. All
right, OK, well, it's at this stage, Hong Kong Great is our favourite, Paul, but you're going against him?
Yeah, look, I think they'll take him on. If they leave him alone, I think you'll win. But I think they'll take him on, especially with these horses drawn wide, and like Highland Fortune, Bear Slam, if he he jumps. And also you've got Red Desert there and King's Shield. So for that effect, I think Elusive State from barrier 3 can get a nice run just in behind him and overrun him late. So I think that's a Quinella, 1 to beat 7, 3 Glorious Artists, and then Berlin Tango. 1, 7, 3 and 10.
Do like Hong Kong Great in the last. If I think things fall his way, I think it'll be very tough to beat Hong Kong Great. Elusive State didn't mind the run at all of Pressure Ship last time out. He put up a stout performance behind Glorious Artist and Berlin Tango there in on a minor line. 7, 1, 5 and 10.
All right, so I think Hong Kong Great's the one to beat again. They might take him on, but he's got a great constitution. 10 races on the programme. Paul, who are the 10 winners?
Yeah, well, I think there's 10 good winners there. The first one, I think in race number 1, we can start off with a bit of value there. Go 16, I think he's going to go pretty well. Kung Fu Tea, Class 5 looks ideal for him. My Ecstatic, he was impressive last time. He's a big horse, so won't worry him. Speedy Mouse to upset Killer Bee, and Elusive State to upset Hong Kong Great in the last. So looking forward to the card. Should be some good chances, and they're all on screen there, or they were there for you.
Great stuff. Thanks, Paul. And again, a reminder, if you want to check out the individual previews for each and every race, myself, Paul and Tom, you'll find that on the website. As far as the best bet is concerned, though, Paul, what do you really like?
I really like my Ecstatic. I think he was very impressive over the 1,400 metres last time. I think he can win again, and with the 133 won't worry him. The long shot being Go 16 in race 1, comes out of a really strong form race. I think he can bounce back. And my Ecstatic, Thunderstrike, and Son of McPhee, the QQP in race 6.
Third race for me with Seasons Bliss was well supported on debut, came into 13 to 1 and ran particularly well. He's second up, and Chuchiao Brother also second up. He goes round in race 1, number 2, Alexi Vidal. Blinkers go on there for trainer Benno Jung. And the plan, the third race involving Seasons Bliss, who I think can win, Pegasus Glory, and also Shenron.
Best bet for me, Killer Bee will go again. He was 1.9 beaten favourite last time out. Hopefully he can get the job done this time around. Smart folks from Inside Draw think he's interesting in a very, very open 8th event. As far as the play is concerned, Speedy Mouse, Dublin Star and Killer Bee. 9, 10, 11 in race number 7. So Saturday meeting for us this weekend then, Tom, then back to Sha Tin again on Wednesday.
Yeah, we've got 8 races coming up at Sha Tin Wednesday night, plus 2 races on the turf at night time. 1 down the straight over 1,000 metres, another over 1,400 metres, and the other 6 races on the all-weather.
Yeah, they're really looking forward to those turf races. They're something that we don't have that often.
All right, well, that's the show. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you at Sha Tin on Saturday when we will be racing to win.